Good afternoon and welcome, Les, once again. I am Rocky, NIAC ambassador and author of Live in the Moment. Guys, today we have this session which is about marketing my book. And with us, we have got Les Johnson, who is the author of To Dance or Not to Dance, and Erskine, Quint in Timeless Insanity. Am I right, Les?
Correct.
Yes. And yes, so for marketing my book, guys, we would just like to know more about how your journey has been ever since you have become the authors of two books, and what ways have you made use of that have actually come out well, and what other ways have not worked out. Maybe it has worked out for others and maybe not for you. So could you please share more light into that?
Yeah. Okay. As I mentioned, initially, my first book was published in Australia, and I utilised social media and also other possibilities here, but no, and using Facebook, paying a certain amount of money to Facebook to spread the word about the books, and it was not very successful. And then my second book books were published in Texas, and basically speaking, I did the same thing, spent a lot of money, and I must admit, afterwards, this company went broke, which was very unfortunate. I even went over to Texas to meet the guys, and we had a fantastic time. They looked after us really well. But ultimately, due to the fact that this company didn't have the financial clout to, to distribute the books, etc., it didn't really work out that well. And my new publisher, via my agent in India, my New Zealand agent, Theros Books, we've just commenced. I've got 6 contracts with them, and we've just basically commenced to start pitching, marketing the books. So it's only just been going for the last, say, 2 to 3 months, where we've actually I've gone out on social media, met up with NIAC, with you guys. Your help and support has been fantastic. And but basically speaking, it remains to social media and a couple of promotion sites. That's
Okay. And what about, have you tried any magazines or bookstores as of now? Any other medium besides social media?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a geographical problem here. I live in Germany, and although I've got another 2 books coming out with a German publisher, which will be published obviously in Germany, To Dance or Not to Dance is going to be distributed in a German version. But that's my dilemma. I live in a German-speaking country, and my books are basically all in English.
Yeah.
And the German, bookshop world doesn't accommodate really for English-speaking books. Only just a very small percentage of English-speaking books are popular here. So I've got a problem here, physically going out to bookshops.
Okay, when I started in 2018, when I became an author, I knew that I had a long way to go because I self-published it on Amazon, and marketing my book was a task. And I knew that obviously this is not my journey alone, but what I had to do was definitely I was finding the most cost-effective way, and or you can say free cost way to do it initially. So that I started off with social media. I made up my social handles on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, but I wasn't really aggressively marketing it the way I believe I should have in the beginning. So I wasn't getting that many sales that I was expecting. So then I decided that, okay, why not I understand what others are doing, others on the same of my level, probably who are indie authors, so maybe who have a little bit of more experience than me and still trying to, reach a mark. So then I went on Facebook communities. I reached out to the groups over there, and I could see that there were a lot of active and cooperative people over there who were supporting everybody's questions and discussions and of what can we do much better for marketing our book in certain ways. Because a lot of people, what I realized over time is that when I started interacting with them, when I started understanding their point of views, like how you mentioned that you have a geographical problem. Some people are stuck in certain cities that there is not much of a resource or avenues for them where they can further market themselves because they are audience is pretty much confined into one space itself. But how can we
Mm,
reach out to the other space, like other cities or maybe other countries also?
mm,
So after getting all these information, I was like, this something has to be done somehow, because if we individually cannot get into those resources, definitely we will have to support one another to get to those resources.
mm, mm,
So that is one other way also. So
mm.
my journey went like that. So I started using paid promotions. I started working with these community members, and also after creating NIAC, New Inspiring Authors Club, I realized that everybody wanted that space to collectively come together. So what we do now is we promote each other on social media. That is one way to market my
Mm.
book, is promoting each other on social media selflessly. And some of us also, what we decided to do is buy each other's books to support one another.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So we buy the books and then we review the books. And then we also provide a platform where the reviews will be posted on New Inspiring Authors Club platform as well, on all the social
Yeah,
handles.
yeah, yeah.
So this has been really rewarding for me as an author, for many of the members who have joined us also. And my sales started to go up, and it started reaching to the right audience.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
still, I know that there is more room for, you know, exposure. So
Absolutely.
what do you feel that, what do you think that you haven't tried yet and you wish to try still for marketing my book?
I think that step which you just mentioned of of like, for example, on a promo site like yourself,
Mhm.
purchasing other people's books, reviewing them, repeating what you just said.
Yes.
I think that is an excellent idea, because as soon as you, for example, someone purchases a book or downloads a book on Amazon, for example, which is the biggest platform, then all of a sudden you're seeing the Amazon ranks, the book
Yes.
going up, and also the reviews help obviously for other people to purchase the books. And I think that's a brilliant idea. I haven't actually tried that yet, because I'm a very down to earth person, and there's a load of authors, self-published authors, and I'm not criticizing
Yes.
self-published authors, okay, but I'm a published author, yeah, and I expect my publisher, because they've invested so much money into the projects, that they should also invest money into
The marketing.
marketing the books, because they want to make money on the work. It's not
Absolutely.
love, it's making money. Let's be honest here. So, but the idea what you just mentioned is a good idea, and I will actually pursue that one. I think because as I mentioned, 5-star reviews and going up in the Amazon ranks automatically helps people, and yourself. Like, for example, a lot of authors out there, I'm a bestseller author. Well,
Yes.
sorry, they're not. They're not
They are
bestseller
not.
authors.
Yes, they are not.
All they do is get their family and friends to buy their books over Amazon, and then it shoots up to in the top 1,000 or whatever. You know the story.
Yes, there are a lot of ways which we all of them employ to make sure that they are up on the ranks. Some of them
Absolutely.
are legit, some of them may not be legit, but otherwise, you see, those things sometimes do work for them, sometimes don't. But people like us who really want the genuineness out of it will really go maybe a much longer, much rougher path. But we know we
Mm.
are going to get there somehow. We know we
Well,
will get there, but or you take this shortcut and then you enjoy the short term accolades and achievements, or you go the long way. So these are also different point of views of where I have come across people talk about.
if, for example, an author believes that they can achieve a certain amount of popularity through employing their family and friends for a short-term period just to pump them up into the Amazon charts or Amazon ranks, then they're lost, because it doesn't work that way.
Yes,
Because sooner or later, reality takes over, and all of a sudden, their books just
they come
dump,
down.
and they're projecting themselves as bestseller authors, but a bestseller author is they're not, obviously not. It's just for a very short period of time because of friends and family purchasing their books. Right? And I've learned all these things over the years. So your advice just now, purchasing someone else's book and also receiving a certain amount of pleasure from that, reading those books and saying, okay, this is a great book, I'm going to review it, give it 5 stars. That's the way to start connecting with each other.
And because we all look at we don't even look at for 5 stars. In fact, we look at for the honest reviews. Okay, if someone reads my book and it says a 3-star, I would really love to get the feedback, because as writers, that is how we will improve. The constructive reviews is what we look out for from normal readers and even book reviewers. Besides, on the internet to market, have you had any other kind of mediums or avenues to maybe to market your book? Maybe it has got to do with being at an event or an exhibition or taking part in certain literary related activities or workshops?
Yes, I've had several experiences. I went to one of the biggest book shows in Europe, and that's in Warsaw. It's a massive book show or book exhibition, and I was invited there by my Australian publisher. But obviously, the support was very, very minimal. It wasn't a lot of support there. So, and I've also had several reviewers from Huffington Post, for example. They reviewed my first book, which was absolutely amazing, an amazing review. And I've also been in several magazines. I've even been in the Hindu Times.
Wow. Okay, that's awesome.
That's the book from Halem. That's the book from To Dance or Not to Dance. And they interviewed me because he's quite the real person, the real character in the book is actually a bit of a superstar, but he's very, very popular in the Kuchipudi world. You know the Kuchipudi world, the dance, the classical dance world. And he's also an actor in not in Bollywood, but in Tollywood. Do you know Tollywood, obviously?
Yes.
They're down in Telugu.
Exactly.
So
South Indian industry. Yes, they're doing very well actually.
Okay. So my connections there were for example, and I had an article in the Hindu Times, which was amazing. So I've had an Australian magazine picked up on my Erskine books. So yeah, I've done some stuff, but it was more or less via other people saying, "Hey, this book is fantastic," or "Can you do an interview here?" or "Can you do an article there?" And in Holland, where we used to live, I've had a couple of articles in nice magazines. So yeah, a bit of work has been done,
Okay, and have you been on radio ever to market your book?
Yes, I've been on an English radio, local radio station.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Yeah, and there was a combination of playing my top 10 favorite bits of music and an interview about my books. And that was a guy who arranged that. He's got a radio station in the UK, and he also designed my website, which I used to have. So I've been on, and I did a narration for some young people in India with my child's book. I've got a kiddies book coming out soon, so that was amazing too. That was in Bangalore. So
yes.
we got a lot of Indian connections here because my daughter lives in.
Which is good. You see, that's how we are globally connected. No matter where we are sitting, like I'm sitting in Dubai, but definitely I am connecting with you, and we have got members all over the place, which is amazing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I used the for example, this fantastic article from the Huffington Post, I use as a marketing vehicle. Of course, I would be crazy not to use it. And people do react to it. And I'm sure, for example, these types of things work. But the first question is, how do you get into the Huffington Post?
Yeah, how do you get into that? Yes.
How do you get in there? Yeah. But I was lucky because a fellow writer of mine, she loved Erskine, the first book, Erskine, and she said, "Les, I've got to write this article about your book because it's so fantastic." And that was obviously amazing to have that. And I was compared, hold it a minute, maybe you know this gentleman, you know Douglas Adams? Douglas Adams is the author of Hitchhiker's Ride to the Universe.
Hitchhikers. Okay, yes, I've heard of the book, yes.
That was a television series and a film too.
Okay.
And this lady from Huffington Post compared my book to this amazing author, which I went, oh, hello, thank you. So, that was brilliant.
That's what
That
you
was
rightly
brilliant.
that's what you rightly said. Like, how do we get certain avenues on our own as individual authors? So
Yeah.
that is one of the mediums which NIAC Global has understood, and we as a community, what we are planning to do is reach out to these entities where we can collaborate with as a
Mm,
community where all members can benefit out of.
yeah.
So we go as a
Absolutely.
group. We don't go as an individual. We go as a group of one and say that,
Mm,
we all reach out for that and you can support the entire community. And as we are growing positively and rapidly, this is where we will be reaching out to more and more avenues. We are getting certain things done from India also and the UAE also, and
mm,
with support like NIC ambassadors like yourself. We also know that Germany is there, is open, and all the other cities that we are looking out for. So we would like to thank you all, and thank you especially for contributing there. One last question before we close the session for today. What advice would you give to those who are actually just beginning their writing journey and still at that stage, uh, they're trying to figure out mm, that I know how I have to market eventually. So I need to prepare myself beforehand because after the stage
mm.
of writing, there's publishing, and after publishing, there is marketing. So what if I want people to know me before I even publish my first book? So how do I market? So what advice would you give to people?
Um, my advice would, away from the marketing aspect, which is obviously I can lock onto in a second. My experience has been the most important thing for aspiring authors is to attempt to contact a literary agent, an agent that doesn't want your finance, a literary agent that will offer you a contract, and within the contract stipulate, okay, if I arrange a publishing contract for you, I will receive a certain percentage of the royalties which are achieved. That would be the first step.
Mm.
Please, okay, self-publishing is cool, it's great. Everybody gets their books out there. I've tried it, I've done it myself. But to be perfectly honest, due to the fact Amazon is one of the platforms which everybody uses, you just get lost. You just get lost in a sea of plethora of authors trying to make their books popular. The second answer to your question about marketing is, once you've achieved an agent, once an author has got a publishing contract in their pocket, then the most important thing is obviously then, in combination or in coordination with the publisher, is to use every possible aspect of social media and don't give up. Just keep on pushing.
Yes.
That is the most important thing, especially on Twitter. Twitter requires 100 or 1,000 tweets, because with one tweet you don't reach anyone.
Yes, absolutely.
That's the most important thing in marketing, is especially for a budding aspiring author, do not give up. Just keep on, and sooner or later the numbers game will tip in to your advantage. And that's my advice. That's all I can give.
Absolutely, because every now and then it's very easy to get demoralized, but you're right. You're absolutely right. Do not give up no matter what.
No.
Yes.
Okay, you have to go through the steps. You have to have your book published.
Yes.
And self-publishing, great. Do it, please. No problem. I haven't got a problem. But ultimately, attempt to get your fantastic book with a publisher who is willing to support you, and also an agent.
Mhm.
And you guys are doing a fantastic job. Get in touch with you guys, because you are amazing. You're just fantastic.
Thank you.
And that is
Thank you
what I
so
would
much.
advise.
Thank
Get
you
a
so much,
promotion.
Let's. Yes.
Yeah, get a promotional site there who are willing to help. And when you realize these people are honest and up straight and up, right, they do their work correctly, then invest also in their projects. And that's what the only advice I can. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Les. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the wrap up for today's session of New Inspiring Authors Club, subject being Market My Book. And we have again myself, Rocky, and we have got Les Johnson from Germany. Thank you so much. And I hope you enjoyed this video and this video has been enlightening. And if you have any comments, please, you can share it. And if you'd like to be a part of it, you can just be a part of NIAC Global. Thank you so much. Cheers.
Thank you. All the best.